Hi, Robert Merlo here, Dalton Partners, Property Management Director, and with me today is Lindsay Adam, Property Manager at Dalton Partners. I'd like to take a moment of your time to discuss some of the proposed changes to the Residential Tenancies Act that will come into effect on the 23rd of March this year. These changes will have an impact in the residential agreements that you have with your tenants. The first change is domestic violence. Now, tenants under a domestic violence situation and on presentation of a domestic violence order are able to terminate their tenancy agreement without notice and without any penalty. So the existing tenant who remains in the property, if the other tenant departs, has a 2-week period where the rent is reduced by the number of remaining tenants. Therefore, if there's 2 tenants, it's half rent for 2 weeks. Please check your landlord's insurance policy to show sure that it covers any instances of domestic violence, in particular loss of rent and any damage that may be caused to your property.
So there will be new mandatory set fees when a tenant breaks their lease. So it will no longer be a standard 6 or 4 week fee. It will now go off a percentage. So it will be 4 weeks rent if less than 25% of the lease has expired, and it will go down to 1 week's rent if 75% or more of the lease has expired.
The other change is the minimum standards for fit for habitation. There are now 7 standards. Most properties would comply with this requirement. However, there is now 7 standards that are required to be complied with that landlords must for their property to be able to have a residential tenancy agreement. Some of the requirements are structurally sound property, adequate natural and artificial lighting in each room, except storage and garages, adequate ventilation, supply of electricity or gas, and has adequate electricity or gas outlets for heating, lighting and appliances, adequate plumbing and drainage, connected to cold water service, supply or infrastructure of supply hot water and cold water, containing bathroom facilities including toilet and washing facilities which allow user privacy.
All toilets from March 2025 must be dual flush with a minimum 3-star rating in accordance with the WELS scheme. Water efficiency measures. So for a landlord to pass on the water usage charge, the property must be separately metered. The new laws include all taps and toilets must be checked at the beginning of the tenancy and fixed if they are leaking. They must also be checked whenever any other water efficiency measures are installed, repaired or upgraded, and any leaks fixed. This requirement applies for existing and new leases. From the 23rd of March 2020, all landlords will need to ensure that all smoke alarms in the property are working correctly. To ensure they're working correctly, you need to carry out an annual check, replace a removable battery within the specified date from the manufacturer or otherwise annually. Repair or replace a smoke alarm that is not working within 2 days of becoming aware that it's not working, and replace a smoke alarm with a brand new smoke alarm every 10 years or otherwise specified by the manufacturer.
Changes and alterations. Tenants can now request that they have hooks or pit for pictures within the property, and landlord now cannot reasonably hold back any consent. They do have to repair them professionally when they leave, however we cannot reasonably refuse the request to do so. So there's a whole list of items here in the legislation that lists some of the things that tenants can do. Again, they need to seek approval from you, from the landlord, prior to doing that. So these are contained more on the Office of Fair Trading website. Material facts have also been updated, which needs to be disclosed to a tenant prior to signing a residential tenancy agreement. These included in the previous 2 years if the property has been a scene of a drug or prohibited drug supply. Additionally, also in a strata complex, if there is a property there's some strata renewal scheme where there is a possibility that the strata unit complex may be sold, that needs to be advised to tenants. Also, if there's any units that are affected by combustible cladding and repair orders issued, these need to be disclosed to the tenant prior to. Failure to do so, the tenant may be able to leave their tenancy agreement with 14 days notice. On the 23rd of March, New South Wales Fair Trading will have powers to resolve disputes between tenants and landlords over repairs and maintenance through a rectification order process. This is done through the NCAT Tribunal, and further details are on our website. Thanks for watching. Dalton Partners is here to help you through these changes. The new changes come into effect the 23rd of March 2020. Our property managers here are able to assist you through any questions you may have in relation to the changes. We'll have more links on our website and also to the New South Wales Fair Trading website, which also lists the changes in more detail.